Eisoptrophobia is one of the most fascinating fears in the world, the fear of mirrors. Unlike fears of spiders or heights, this phobia is not about physical danger, it is about seeing yourself reflected. For people with eisoptrophobia, looking into a mirror can be deeply unsettling, even terrifying, because their own reflection can feel strange or alive. Psychologists think this fear comes from how our brains process self-image. Staring at a reflection can make people feel vulnerable, as if the mirror could somehow show a hidden, darker side of themselves. Some experiments, like the strange face illusion, show that if you stare into a mirror for long enough, your reflection can actually appear to change faces, stretch, twist, or morph into unfamiliar shapes. This is not magic, it is just how our brains work. But for someone with this phobia, it can feel like the mirror is coming alive. Culture and stories only make mirrors seem more mysterious. For centuries, mirrors have been seen as portals to other worlds, traps for spirits, or tools for magic. Horror movies use this idea too. Think of ghostly figures appearing behind you, or reflections that move on their own. It taps into a basic human fear. What if what we see is not really real? People with eisoptrophobia often go to great lengths to avoid mirrors, sometimes covering them or rearranging rooms. Exposure therapy is one way psychologists help them slowly feel safe again. Mirrors, objects we take for granted every day, become symbols of mystery, self-reflection, and sometimes fear. Eisoptrophobia reminds us how something as ordinary as a mirror can hold a strange and powerful effect on the human mind. Nomophobia is one of the most modern and relatable fears of our time, the fear of being without a mobile phone. This fear goes far beyond simple inconvenience. For many people, the idea of losing signal, running out of battery, or forgetting their phone at home can spark real panic. Psychologists believe this fear is connected to how tightly phones are woven into our daily lives. Phones are our maps, our calendars, our entertainment, our communication, and our safety nets. When that constant connection disappears, the brain can react with stress, as if something essential is missing. Some people even feel physical symptoms like a racing heart or shaky hands when they cannot check their phone. Nomophobia also relates to the fear of being left out or disconnected from others. With social media and instant messaging, many people feel pressure to respond quickly or stay updated. When the phone is not available, the mind may imagine missed messages, emergencies, or important events happening without them. Stories from real therapy sessions show how powerful this fear can be. Some individuals check their phones hundreds of times a day, sleep with them in hand, or feel intense anxiety during moments when phones are turned off, like flights or exams. Treatment often focuses on building healthier phone habits, practicing short periods without the device, and strengthening real-world connections. This phobia highlights how deeply technology shapes our emotions. Nomophobia reminds us that something as small as a phone can hold surprising control over our sense of safety and connection. It encourages us to step back and ask an important question: when does a helpful tool begin to take over our peace of mind? Coulrophobia is one of the most surprising and widespread fears, the fear of clowns. At first glance, clowns are meant to be cheerful performers with bright colors, painted smiles, and exaggerated expressions. Yet for many people, these same features create a deep sense of discomfort or fear. Psychologists explain that clowns unsettle us because they hide their real faces under heavy makeup. This makes it difficult to read their true emotions. Humans naturally rely on facial cues to understand whether someone is safe or threatening. When a clown has a frozen smile that never changes, the brain may interpret it as unnatural or deceptive. Another factor is something called the uncanny effect. This is when something looks almost human, but not quite right. Clowns fall into this category. Their oversized shoes, loud costumes, and stretched facial features create a strange mix of familiar and unfamiliar. For someone with coulrophobia, this combination can trigger immediate fear. Culture has also played a major role in shaping this phobia. Many horror stories and movies turn clowns into frightening creatures, which makes the fear stronger. Instead of playful entertainers, they become symbols of hidden danger. Over time, these images influence how people react in real life, even if they have never had a bad experience with a clown. In real therapeutic cases, people with coulrophobia may avoid circuses, theme parks, festivals, or any place where clowns might appear. Treatment usually focuses on gently exposing the person to clown images in a safe environment and helping them understand that the fear comes from the unfamiliar, not from actual danger. Taphophobia is one of the most chilling fears in human history, the fear of being buried alive. Unlike many modern phobias, this fear comes from a very real concern people once had, long before advanced medicine existed. In earlier centuries, doctors sometimes struggled to tell whether someone was truly dead, which led to rare but horrifying mistakes. Stories of these incidents spread widely and left a deep mark on collective imagination. Psychologically, taphophobia is rooted in our most basic survival instincts. Being trapped in a small, enclosed space with no escape is one of the strongest fears the human mind can experience. Treatment usually combines relaxation techniques with careful exposure, helping the person separate imagined danger from real safety. Chronophobia Chronophobia is one of the most thought-provoking fears, the fear of time. This phobia is not about clocks or calendars themselves. It is about the overwhelming feeling that time is moving too quickly, slipping away, or becoming impossible to control. For people with chronophobia, the passing of time can create a deep sense of anxiety, as if life itself is speeding up beyond their grasp. Psychologists say this fear often appears during major life changes. Students nearing graduation, adults facing aging, or people experiencing long periods of isolation may suddenly become very aware of time. When every minute feels heavy or uncertain, the mind can react with racing thoughts or a tightening sense of dread. Time can also feel intimidating because it never stops. Unlike other fears that have clear limits, time is constant. That endless movement can make some people feel trapped. For example, people in hospital rooms or prisons sometimes report chronophobia because the days feel stretched or meaningless, creating a sense of anxiety around every passing moment. Culture adds another layer to this fear. Many stories and films explore the idea of running out of time or wasting life. These themes can make chronophobia stronger, especially for those who already worry about the future. Even simple reminders like birthday milestones or New Year celebrations can trigger anxiety for someone living with this phobia. In therapeutic settings, individuals with chronophobia may describe a fear of deadlines, a discomfort with waiting, or a constant urge to check the clock. Treatment focuses on grounding techniques, building a healthier sense of control and helping the person connect with the present moment instead of fearing the future. Trypophobia is one of the most visually striking fears, the fear of clusters of small holes. People with this phobia can feel sudden discomfort, anxiety, or even nausea when they see patterns like honeycombs, lotus seed pods, or sponges. These everyday objects may look harmless, yet their repeating holes can create an intense emotional reaction. Psychologists believe this response comes from how our brains interpret certain patterns. Clusters of holes are unusual shapes that our minds are not used to seeing up close. For some people, these patterns trigger a feeling that something is wrong or unsafe, even when nothing dangerous is happening. The reaction is quick and automatic, as if the brain is trying to warn them about something it cannot clearly explain. Some researchers suggest that this fear may be linked to ancient survival instincts. In nature, many dangerous animals and diseases create irregular, hole-like patterns on skin or surfaces. Even though most people know the image in front of them is completely safe, their brains may still react with caution. This creates a strange mix of curiosity and fear. Culture and the internet have also made trypophobia more widely known. Collections of hole-filled images often spread online, and many people discover their sensitivity by accident. Seeing these pictures suddenly and without warning can amplify the reaction and make the fear stronger over time. In therapy, people with trypophobia usually work on slowly getting used to these patterns in a calm, controlled way. By reducing the sense of shock, they learn to view the images without feeling overwhelmed. But did you know? Only 0.6% of my viewers have subscribed to my channel. If you enjoy learning about diseases, phobias, and other things, then please consider subscribing. Here are a couple of videos you might enjoy. Thanks for watching and like the video.